The Zalthirian Empire prided itself on its prisons. They did not just lock up their enemies. They made examples of them. Captives were thrown into cells with beasts engineered for terror, creatures bred in laboratories, spliced with genetics stolen from a dozen apex predators. Most did not last a minute. So when they captured a human soldier on the battlefield, a man named Captain Eric Hale, they decided to test their latest creation. The dragons, as their guards mockingly called them, were colossal reptilian predators with armored scales, acid breath, and claws like plasma blades. To the Zalthirian, the outcome was inevitable. A human, alone and unarmed, would be torn apart instantly. The guards laughed as they shoved him into the pit. The heavy doors sealed shut behind him. Inside, the air was hot and thick, reeking of sulfur. The ground shook as two dragons lifted their massive heads, yellow eyes narrowing at the intruder. Chains rattled as the beasts uncoiled, hissing smoke from their throats. Eric stood calmly. He didn't panic, didn't scream. He simply rolled his shoulders, as if preparing for a workout. The first dragon lunged, jaws wide enough to crush him whole. But Eric didn't run. He pivoted to the side with uncanny speed, driving his fist. Not a weapon, not enhanced, just a fist, straight into the beast's jaw. The sound echoed like thunder. The dragon reeled backward with a roar, bone shattered. His head slammed against the wall, stunned. The guards watching on the monitors froze, their laughter dying in their throats. The second dragon charged. Eric moved with frightening precision. He grabbed a broken chain dangling from the wall, yanked it free, and swung it around the creature's throat. Muscles bulged, veins flared, and with a roar that shook the chamber, the human pulled. The alien guards stared in disbelief as the mighty beast, scales harder than steel, was forced to the ground, choking under raw human strength. Eric's eyes burned, not with fear, but with something the dragons themselves recognized. Predatory rage. He was not prey. He was the monster. Minutes later, silence fell over the pit. One dragon lay dead, its skull crushed. The other, still alive but broken, whimpered like a beaten animal, crawling away from the human that had defied everything the Zalthirian thought possible. Eric stood in the center, blood on his fists, chain wrapped loosely around his forearm. His chest rose and fell steadily, as though he had just finished a training exercise. He looked up at the camera, knowing the guards were watching. And he smiled. Panic spread through the observation deck. "Impossible," one officer stammered. "No creature defeats a Varian dragon barehanded." Another whispered, "He isn't a creature. He's human." News of the incident spread faster than wildfire. Across the Zalthirian Empire, soldiers whispered of the Terran locked in the beast pit who killed dragons with his bare hands. Fear slithered into their ranks. Eric was dragged out of the cell eventually, though not by guards. None dared approach. Instead, drones fitted with shock spears tried to herd him. He walked willingly, almost casually, his eyes never leaving the terrified soldiers behind the barriers. To the Zalthirian, it was a disaster. They had meant to break human spirit, to show the galaxy that Terrans were weak. Instead, they had done the opposite. They had broadcast the truth. Humans were not fragile prey. Humans were something far worse. Later, when the human fleet struck back, many Zalthirian soldiers surrendered without a fight. They remembered the man who had faced dragons and won. They feared what an army of his kind could do. In the annals of history, the battle was written not in terms of strategies or fleets, but of one moment in a prison pit, when a human stood among monsters and proved that humanity was the real nightmare of the galaxy. And deep within the Empire, where whispers carried faster than orders, one phrase became a curse, a warning, and a prophecy all at once. Do not put humans in with the monsters. They'll come out leading them.